Okay, so you're going to need a few things to start out. First, you're going to need a text editor, something where you will be actually doing the code in. I personally think that Visual Studio Code is the best one out there. There's another one, Sublime Text 3 is a good one. I've used both of these. Personally, I like Visual Studio Code better. And they're very close. Sublime Text is also a really good option. So pick which one you want. I have Visual Studio Code on my computer, so we're going to roll with that for now. And we're going to be using Google Chrome. So if you don't have Google Chrome, you can go and download it. Download and install. So download the installation file. You can follow these examples. For Windows, I'm on Mac, so you can follow the examples for Mac. Or if you're on Linux, you can do that. So we need Visual Studio Code and Google Chrome. Okay, so so once you have downloaded Visual Studio Code, you can open it. Let's get rid of that. And you can do File, New File. And then we want Chrome. Do a new window. Pull it over to the side here. And we are ready to start diving in to coding a website. That's really all it takes. So what we're going to do to start, first let's save this file, and you can, I'm just going to save it on my desktop for now, but what we want to call it is index.html. So HTML, hypertext markup language, that's what's going to show the structure of the page. Okay, so that code is going to do the layout of the website. Okay, so let's save that. And let's not show the breadcrumbs. Okay. All right, so we have index.html open. So why is it called index? Well, like in the first video when we talked about that websites are a bunch of files and folders that are hosted on a computer somewhere, that they're the only job of the computer is to show those files to the person that's looking at them. We call index so that we know this is where everything is going to branch off of. So if we have index right here, we can have style.css, which we'll get into over here. And we can kind of do something like that where it's like comes off of here, and then another, we could have script.js over here, JavaScript file or some stuff like that. But everything is really going to stem from this index.html file. And we can also put all of this into a folder, and then these into their own folders. So it's like styles folder, and then coming off of that is this, and some other things. And over here we can have JavaScript or something like that, JS and stuff like that. So we call it index HTML because that's going to be the heart and soul of the website. So how do we start? Well, we need a doc type. And how I did that was this really cool tool called Emmet that we'll go into a little bit later when we do advanced tooling and stuff like that. But Emmet gives you shortcuts so you can expand things like in here, if I wanted to do like a paragraph tag, boom, it's right there, or a form, you know, so like that. So okay, so this is the index.html file. So we at the very top we have a doc type. So this defines what kind of file this is going to be for the browsers. So when the server sends this file to the browser, it knows, okay, boom, we got an HTML file here. It's going to be in English, and then now we have this head tag. So the head tag is where you're going to put things that are not going to be displayed on the website, but that you need to have more information about the website. So let's call this LinkedIn profile copy something, you know, or clone. Clone is kind of a buzzword in the developer world. When you want to copy something, they call it clone. So this meta tag, this is going to define some information about the website that the browser can use and Google can use. Like, so if you want, if I look up bass fishing, so this website is going to have, you go right click, inspect, and you can see all of everything behind the scenes of this website. So, so here's their head tag right here. So we can see they have a lot of JavaScript scripts tags. Here's the same thing we have, the viewport, see right here. So this is going to tell the browser, hey, if your screen is really small, I want you to do it this way. If your screen is a little bit bigger, I want you to do it this way. If your screen is huge, I want you to do it this way. So that's what the viewport is, what you're viewing the website on. And the content width equals device width. That's like a phone. The width is going to be the phone width or the computer screen width or the tablet width, whatever. And the initial scale is just 1. We just want to start at 1. 1 doesn't really mean anything. It just means that whatever the width of the device is, we're going to call that 1. Or we're going to start the scale at 1, I should say. And then this line is just for Internet Explorer and Edge. So they have some other things. They have these properties. This is for Facebook. This is for Twitter, so that when you copy and paste it on both of those platforms, it looks good. We have a description of the website. This stuff is for Google, so that it can tell Google how to define all this, like how to index it. And well, we can talk more about that. You don't really need to worry about that for now, but the point is, the head tag is where we put things that give the browser more information about the website, okay? Now the body, that's where the actual code is going to go that is going to make the website look a certain way. So if we say we want a paragraph tag and we say hello world, we save it, and then you go into your files, go to the desktop, and see, boom, hello world. We can right click, inspect. There's our head, there's all of our stuff. There's our body tag, and there's our paragraph tag, hello world. It's really good idea. It's a good idea to really understand what's going on here. So all you need to worry about right now is this elements tab. There's a ton of other things that are really cool, but all you need to worry about is elements right now. And this is the HTML elements in the page. That's what that's talking about. So we have this this is CSS right here. We'll get into CSS in a little bit, but this is saying that we got some margin on there. We don't have any border, we don't have any padding, and the width is 525 pixels by 18 pixels. So everything is in pixels. So that's good to know, but you don't really need to worry about that right now. So let's do some more tags. Let's say we want let's do an input, okay? So we have input, we want to give it this type equals text, and we want to give it a placeholder equals my first input, okay? Let's save that, go over to Chrome and refresh, and boom, we have an input right here. Okay, so let's have a look real quick at this paragraph tag and this input tag. You notice how they're different, where this paragraph tag has the opening tag right here, and then it has the contents of the paragraph tag right here. So this is what's going to be displayed. And then we have this closing paragraph right here. So this is saying, hey, browser, we're going to have a paragraph, then this is what I want to put in the paragraph, and now we're done. We're done with the paragraph. That's all we want to worry about. Now we come to this input. This input doesn't have a closing tag like that. My autocomplete keeps doing that. We don't write it like that. Some tags are self-closing. So that's what that means. It means, boom, all we need is this. There's not going to be any information in between it. The browser is going to see that there's an input tag. It's going to say, okay, sweet, I know how to do that. I'm going to put a little bit of border, a little bit of spacing. Here's the placeholder. So we take out the placeholder like that and refresh. There's nothing in there. If you want it to be already filled out, you can do value equals my first input. Give it a save. Come over here, refresh. Okay, now this is actually stuff, you know. Whereas placeholder, refresh, it's just waiting for your input. And when you start typing something, that's going to go away. My first input, okay. So we can have a button. Okay, we can do my first button. Go over here, refresh, boom. It looks kind of like a form already, doesn't it? If we copy and paste that a few times. Come over here. First, second, third, boom. We can change this to look like submit, kind of the end of the form. They have these little, HTML has little helper tags. This is one of them. This is a break tag. So if we have also another little side note. Did you see how it did that? So if I put these on its own line, boom, and then I save it, it automatically reformats it. We'll talk about that in advanced tooling later on too. That's a thing called Prettier that's hooked up to VS Code, so it auto formats all my HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. It's really, really amazing. So if we put break tags right there, boom, they're all on their same line. We can put one after this. And look, it looks kind of like a form. We can put, you know, please enter your email. And we could have this be, you know, name, type. There's different types for inputs. Email, text, telephone, URL, things like that. Email address. We can just get rid of that. Boom, name, email. We can even have this be login. We could have, oops. All these little things that you see that I'm doing. So These are short keys. So if you're on Mac, if you hold Alt, actually I think it's Alt regardless. So Alt, and you hold it and you do the arrow keys, it can move lines over and over like that. So anyway, so we have email, we can do password, type equals password, email address, password. You can even do like a confirm password. And boom, we can do email address. So the other cool thing is if you hold command, on Mac and then click, you can get multiple cursors. All this stuff is really good. If you want to pause the video, rewind, go back, try it out, Google stuff. So, you can do multiple cursors, VS Code, and you can have an answer, multiple cursor VS Code. StackOverflow.com is your friend. You're going to be going there a lot. I go there all the time, every single day. So press Alt and click on Windows and Linux. And then it's Command and click on Mac. Was this specifically for Windows? Close? No. Oh yeah. Oh, both Mac OS and Windows. Alt, Command Alt. So Google that and you'll find some answers. I'll have a Slack channel that you can join where you can ask me questions and stuff, or ask other people questions. So yeah, so here's the email address. So because there's a required on here, if we try and submit it, well, I guess this doesn't do anything, but we can do type equals submit. Oh, maybe it needs to be in a form. So let's do a form real quick. So we do a form tag. Do it like a form tag. Then we want all this stuff in there. Get rid of that. And now it's going to stop you and say, please fill this out. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So there's a lot of stuff that we can do. So this is a little intro to HTML. Next, we're going to dive into figuring out how we can lay out our page and how we can start coding this, this profile up.